Hello YouTube, let's talk about fragrances. Today we're going to discuss a sample of Missoni Wave. Little box, little sample. Spray this on a card today. Alright, so we got whatever. What is it? C notes, mandarin, lavender, sage, Egyptian pelargonium. Sure. Yeah. Rosemary, vanilla orchid. So there's no chance on earth that Missoni went and found some vanilla orchids and then squeezed some absolute vanilla orchid absolute out of those things and then stuffed it into this fragrance. So I'm assuming, I guess I can't say that, and I don't know that their processes, but I can't imagine that that's the case. So I'm assuming that this is vanilla plus an orchid, and they're just calling it vanilla orchid. And honestly, I have no idea what they're talking about when they say that. So what does it smell like? It smells nice. So they don't take that green, that mandarin, whatever. It's not a green mandarin, it's a regular mandarin. They don't take that mandarin too far. So a lot of things, if you're talking about the Profondo lights, and the mandarin is coming out all over the place. The mandarin is the new pink pepper. It's all over the place. It's coming out everywhere. And actually, it's done really well here. So it's got some sparkle to it, but it's not a grapefruit sparkle. It's more of a effervescent sparkle. And I guess it could be considered grapefruity in the way that it sparkles. But Haitian vetiver. I don't know. It all smells super clean and super crisp and tart. The opening is really good. So I don't have the dry down on a piece of paper here, but I've tried it before, and this to me it's a good release, but in the mid, it has a base. So it has a base of like a clear wood patchouli. It just says patchouli, but it's a fractured patchouli. It's got to be like it smells like a clear wood or akigala wood or something of that nature. It smells, because it's ultra clean and there's no dirtiness here. So then the vetiver has got to be some kind of there's no smoky aspect or anything to this. It's just clean and fresh. But in the mid, to me, they neglected the mid a bit. So the opening is really nice and the base is there, though it's not super nice, but it's there, and for this range or of this amount of money you're spending, you're not going to get an elaborate base or a very expensive one. but it is present, which is something. It's not ultra long lasting, but you're probably looking at 5-6 hours, and you can still smell it then, and it doesn't smell bad, which is good. It's a good thing. That is, if they overdose it, sometimes it's stronger, but it's gonna smell off balance and smell kind of off putting. Though people will be able to smell you for longer, it's just not going to be super pleasant. This it has a respectable base and a nice opening, but in the mid, they kind of missed the mark here. So in loading the top and doing the bottom, to not balance it, to not make it smell, they just didn't do much in the middle. So you're going to transition from that top to that bottom with nothing really there in the middle, so it's going to just kind of drift down. It's just going to burn off and lose aspects instead of morph, which is really nitpicking for something in this nature. I wouldn't probably purchase it full retail, but once this hits discounters, it's going to be a nice summer fragrance. I think it's pretty good, pretty well done. The bottles, I like the Missoni bottles with the magnetic caps and everything, and the etching. This one has got a silver instead of a black tone on the metal. So, and like a nice gradient. I think it's going to be about this color. Competent fragrance, again from Missoni, which shouldn't be surprised. Though, do know that it smells full in the beginning, but as some of those citruses and things burn off, you are going to experience a thinner fragrance once you get to the mid. The mid and the base are pretty thin, with the mid being almost non-existent and the base being there, but just thin. So that's my take on Missoni Wave.